This is Felicity Woodson. And this is Gigi Carrera. And we are Women Everywhere at Intellectual Radio.
And we are live here every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. at IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's the Central Standard
Thank
Time.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Gigi's finally getting the hook of it.
Yeah. It's night somewhere in the Philippines.
It is nice somewhere. So definitely. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot of stuff going on today. With Women Everywhere. Gosh, a lot of stuff going on in the community. So if you are out there right now and you think that Women Everywhere should hear about it, you should definitely call us at 708-223-8953 and let us know what's going on out in the street.
Right. And you can also post a comment on our Facebook live feed if you're interested in sharing us, especially if you're out there somewhere, if you're at the Grove Fest in Downers Grove, if you're at the Pride Parade. We would like to know what you guys are doing, what's interesting out there. Please share that information.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really curious because I'm here right now, but I want to know where I'm going to be after. Because we are everywhere, right?
Yeah,
that's kind of funny, but that's cliche.
Cliche. Yeah. So,
but yeah, so as far as what's going on, like just to recap, we're going to talk about what Gigi and I were up to yesterday and what's going on in the community, what's going on in the fashion world.
Some interesting stuff.
Definitely. I think Gigi's stuff is more interesting right now.
No. I really want to hear a lot about the fitness, especially in summertime, a lot of fitness thing going on. And we would love to hear from Felicity. She's going to be talking some of that too today. And we'll talk about the event that we went to yesterday. Well, it's more like a volunteer work with Feed My Starving Children, which is one of my platform for my reign as Miss Illinois Petite 2016. And we'll talk about the epic fail in fashion for 2015, 2016, and some other interesting stuff. So
yeah, so if you guys did not tune in last week, you guys didn't miss it because you can click replay. That's the benefit of the internet.
Yes.
But yeah, the Miss Nurse pageant.
Yeah, so we had a guest from the organization, a pageant, Miss Nurse Pageant, beautiful nurse pageant. There were about 5 girls that were here that last week, and they've talked about amazing things about why they're doing what they do, which is to basically advocate nursing and, taking care of their health outside of what they're doing on a regular basis and how they manage to balance their life as nurses.
Yeah, it was really nice to have them on air with us because I grew up with my grandma being a nurse. She just actually recently retired. My grandpa's a pharmacist. My sister works with patients in a dialysis center. So it's definitely close to home to be around people that love to reach and connect and heal. And it was really nice. The women were so lovely. I don't think the normal person sees, like, everybody goes, I don't want to go to the doctor and all that stuff. But in actuality, how often, how long do you really see the doctor? You see the nurse. The nurse comes in, the nurse takes your blood pressure, the nurse, asks you all the extra questions, all those vitals. The nurse takes that pretty much. It's telling the doctor what's wrong with you, and then the doctor comes in, asks you probably the same about questions, and then confirms what the nurse probably told them before you walked in.
I love how important they're in our community, and there's so many different type of nurses too. If you're looking at it, when you're in one, hospital, there's nurses that's specifically for surgeon or surgery, and there's other different nurses that you see in a pharmacy, which is the one that I see more often. Like you walk in Walgreens and you're like, oh, there's a nurse, yay! But you know how that works. So with the Miss Beautiful Nurse pageant that's happening in August 6th, that was founded by Bridget Flowers, which I want to give a shout out to. Thank you for being part of Women Everywhere, and I will be judging that pageant, so I am so excited.
Yeah,
and you're going to be there covering that.
Yeah, I'm going to be there covering. That's going to be awesome. And last week we talked about, as far as health, fitness, and just overall in general, is self-care and taking some time to do something for yourself, whether that be take a nap, take a bath, go out, have some fun, whatever that be. And so we talked about self-care, and I thought that was important, especially having our guest being from that nursing background,
Yes,
and
exactly.
having those long shift hours, being on their feet all the time, and reminding them that they are people too and they need to be taken care of, and whether they have to take care of themselves or they got lucky and they have somebody else to assist them with that,
Hmm.
they need to take care of themselves. So I found it interesting that all the nurses agreed that this Miss Beautiful
Beautiful
Nurse
nurse was a
is
good.
considered their self-care. A lot of
Yeah.
women don't have a chance to get out of their scrubs. Like, it's really nice, and I
It's
can't wait
very
to
good to
see
see.
these
It's
women have a moment where they can put their heels on, put their makeup, and feel beautiful and feel good.
what's nice thing about it too is that how supportive even some of their children, like one of the nurse was talking about, her daughter or her son was the one that's saying for her to join the Miss
Yeah.
Beautiful Nurse, and I thought it was so important. I mean, think about it, there's so many different type of industries where women are predominantly like working on that industry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about just not nurses, but I hope they can come out with a different pageant specifically for women in like in hospitality industry, like let's say, you know, restaurants
Yeah,
or in
bartenders,
hotel bartenders.
servers.
I think that would be really cool. I think maybe there are some, but you know, this is so interesting to actually see nurses out there because they're, when you come out to them, they're always serious, especially, well, I guess you have to be serious when you're dealing with, oh, I'm not feeling good. So they
Yeah.
can just like prance around and, you know, wear their heels all day.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be comfortable with your job.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
exactly.
given.
Yeah, so that was fantastic. So
Yes.
again, we will post a pay in our page about that event as well. So if you're a nurse, like next year, if you're interested in joining that, you can definitely call us or post on our Facebook page, and we will send you more information about it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
And that was pretty much that recap of what
yes,
happened.
yes.
But so, I mean, I guess you should also go watch the video. The interview is pretty awesome.
That was fun,
It was
yeah.
great.
Especially the whole video itself. But then if you guys want to check out just the nurses, they were at the last 20 minutes of the Facebook of the video.
Yes.
So, oh, anyways, we're gonna go ahead and continue. So, what's going on? What last
Yes.
night was incredible.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the day before we get into last night.
Oh yes.
So Gigi, we said that we went to feed the starving children, and that
Mhm.
was last night. But prior to that, I work with a lot of community health outreach, and
Mhm.
yesterday was busy. I was all over the place.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, in Oak Park, there is a farmer's market
Mhm.
every Saturday from 7 to 1. So if you're local in the area, definitely check it out. So I set up a table at the farmer's market for the organization that I work for.
Mhm.
And it's great to be able to just provide people information as far as like community health and where they
Mhm.
can kind of start if they have any questions. It's really interesting to see how many people come out, and it's awesome that you have these local farmers out
Mhm.
here and the community giving back to these local farmers. So I always love to be in that kind of environment. And so not even just Oak Park, there's tons of local
Oh
farmers
yeah, yeah. They
markets
they
going
do
on,
that a
especially
lot.
during the summertime. Take advantage
Mhm.
over it.
Yeah,
If
and it's
you're
healthier too when you're buying your crop from those places, and they have a lot of handmade things like,
yeah, I like yesterday they have homemade jams.
oh,
It
those
was
are good.
vinegar. It was like homemade vinegar vegetable wine. It was so
Did you
interesting.
try it?
No, I didn't try it.
Oh.
I was at work, right? I don't know. I'm like, is this appropriate? But it's so interesting. So if you guys get a chance during the summertime, definitely take advantage over the farmers markets that are going on in your area. I know Chicago has a lot of stuff going
Mhm.
on. Like
I know they
California,
have
it's
the,
always sunny and warm, so I'm pretty
yeah,
sure they always have farmers and stuff.
division. I think they have the division park, division market every like Saturday in summertime. I don't know, I've seen that before, so you guys definitely should check it
Yeah.
out. And actually today too, the Group Fest, which is in Downers Grove, I think they have a lot of the homemade things too that's sold in there because it's like a business
Yeah,
music
a
expo.
lot of
So
entrepreneurs, and it's great to be able to give back to the community. You think about it when we uh, need something, most of the time we're going into these large corporations, and not
Or
to
in a
knock it, or
supermarket.
these supermarkets, and then not to knock it, sometimes it's quick, it's easy. But if we have that opportunity to give back to entrepreneurs, people that we're giving this money for these families to feed their family, send their kids to college or whatever,
definitely.
put clothes on their back.
Mhm.
And so you're feeding, actually, when you go to these farmers markets, you're putting in the money in the hands of the people that are working, that are going to benefit from your support, versus whatever corporation.
Well, I think it's also a good way to actually have a good quality time with your family, because a lot of us are not spending enough time with our children. If you have children, if your
or just
husband
even
or
your
whatever.
spouse,
So
your
yeah,
friends,
exactly.
whatever. It's a
You
great
go
way
out
to
there,
connect.
walk around, eat something, talk to people.
Yeah,
You learn
definitely.
so much by talking to people. Yeah.
And there's
in
one
those
thing
places.
I think about farmers markets that are kind of misunderstood as far as like pricing and stuff. They're fairly decent as far as prices. They're reasonable. And you think about, like you said, is as far as the health, these people are, where your food is coming from, and whether you come in and then it's organic or not. It's the simple fact that these are local farmers, and it's great. And then another thing, if you guys don't know, is if you guys do get government support like Link or food stamps or whatever, farmers markets are now accepting food stamps.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, so farmers markets are now accepting food stamps for families that have this service, and which is even better, because you think these food stamps are coming from taxpayers, and then now they're going back into the community of local farmers instead of.
You know what I've heard about this food stamp situation, now that we're talking about it, is that a lot of people are always complaining. How do you feel about this? Like, they're always complaining about somebody who has food stamp that end up buying like a ribeye steak or anything like that. So some people are there. There was somebody that was trying to get people to basically control what kind of food they can buy.
Yeah, like
specifically
they can't buy steaks or
or
lobsters
or something
Yeah,
like
you know what?
that.
I heard about that too, and I kind of think that people are going to eat what they're going to eat, and so how do you know that this person, because we all have holidays, we all have special occasions. Why can't they purchase? Yeah, why? It could be the first time they've had steak, and you don't know how long. The first time they've had lobster or whatever ever. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's not our, right to say like
you can buy that.
what food or whatever. At the end of the day, we're already, it's already coming out on our taxes, and for me, I'd rather be able to support somebody that is needing it. And who's to say? The government decides that, and that's out of my hands. I can't, I guess when it comes around time to voting, you decide that. But at the end of the day, like that's the whole beside the point.
At least I guess at the moment it's not something that's being controlled, because I brought it up because like what you said, a lot of people think that buying a specific product from those fresh markets are more expensive than actually going to Walmart or some other places. But good to know that it's not being controlled at the moment, so.
Definitely. I think that excuse me, it especially that they want families to be healthy, and I think that allowing farmers market
to accept
food stamps and Link and stuff like that is beneficial, and that's a great way to promote that advocacy of being healthy. And especially, everybody has to be healthy. Why do rich people only get to be healthy? Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
Totally.
But so farmers market, that's what's going on out there. And then after the farmers market, I went to set up at Lincoln Technology. Their community campus was having a health fair. And so if you guys are not familiar what a health fair is, pretty much whatever location decides that they want to have it, you have a numerous amount of people that participate in the health fair, different vendors that set up. I had a booth that set up for the organization that I was working for. And we just provide whatever information. And so with the YMCA, this is where I work, is we have a program called Live Strong. Live Strong is for people that have cancer or cancer survivors. And so helping people get back to that strength, get back into their dependence, and a program which is free to people that qualify.
So were you signing up people that will be interested
Not
to be on
signing
the
up people, but just providing
advocacy?
advocacy.
Mhm.
Then also we are partner up with Westlake Hospital. So with that, what we do is Westlake Hospital comes in and they do screenings like
Mhm.
glucose screenings, cholesterol screenings, BMI, body mass index. So that's when you walk in and the doctor's like, yeah, you're morbidly obese. You need to, it's just the ratio between your height and your weight. And so that's it.
Without testing them,
yeah,
you kind of have an idea.
Yeah,
like,
kind of have an idea of
You're
whether,
you're
you
gonna
know,
need this.
what kind of actions you need to start to take as far as your health. And so I think that that's amazing. And so there's a bunch of different ones that go on, you know, throughout the year. So definitely stay tuned. If you guys are interested, you can get in contact with me. I can let you know when the you know, the ones that are coming up. But this is the first time that I've actually been to a health fair that had a car. No, not the first time I've been to a health fair. I've been doing this, and so this is what I do for work. I go out as far as like community health outreach, but this is the first time. Like normal health fairs try to have some sort of extra event. It's family, it's community related, so you're not just coming in to get pricked or donate blood or whatever the case is with that. You're coming in and you're experiencing the community. So they normally like to have an activity. But this is the first time at a health fair they've actually had a car show at the same time as a health fair, which was really cool. And it made the experience so fun to be able to sit out there and not only be promoting health to different communities. And you think that this a car show, it's a culture, it's a community. So
and it attracts more people.
Yeah,
too, with a car show.
There were so many beautiful cars out there, old school cars. I had some nice lowriders and drop tops. Oh man, I can't even say.
Was there a pink convertible car?
No, there wasn't a pink convertible car, but there was a lot of great cars. There was this I think it was a 1986 Chevy Impala.
Oh, okay.
And it was like a sparkly orange, green,
that's
yellow. It was so amazing. It was so beautiful. And they all have like hydraulics. So that's awesome. It really took me back to California.
Oh, right. Is there a lot of those car shows?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of car shows, a lot of lowrider feel to it. So that was really awesome. I got to connect. And then after that I spent some time, you know, doing some more extra community outreach. But then I came and met you. Yesterday was so busy. Amazing. Yesterday was like, I just have work, and then it really just turned into like a community outreach day, which I really love. Yeah, that's my passion. I just want to be a part of something positive, and I want to promote positive health, positive just relationships. And so I think that's fabulous to be able to do that. And so definitely came out to the outreach day, and I think out of everything, to cap it all off was the Feed My Starving Children. Yeah, so let's go into a break, and when we come in, we'll talk about that. Feed My Starving Children. That is going to be amazing. I think you guys will love that.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Women everywhere. Your story matters at Intellectual Radio. Awesome. Welcome back to And Everywhere Your Story Matters with Intellectual Radio. And yeah, we've talked about earlier the things that you were doing yesterday that got her really busy and that was so interesting to learn that. But so after the things that you were doing, we were at Feed My Starving Children. So this is one of my favorite charities.
Tell them where that's located at.
There are several locations for Feed My Starving Children, but the place where we went to yesterday was actually at Schaumburg. It's a 1702, I think, National Parkway in Schaumburg, Illinois. So
really hard to find in the for a second.
It is.
It is like a lot of industrial buildings over there, so you're kind of confused on where you're going. But
yeah, but then here's
I should have looked at where all the cars were. Didn't even pay attention to that.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, even Justin was driving with me yesterday, and he lived in the suburb. He lived there forever, and he's like, "Where is this place?" But
I was driving around, like I'm like, these are trucks. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah,
we had to turn around.
We finally figured it out. So, Feed My Starving Children is incredible because it is a non-for-profit Christian non-for-profit organization that works with at least 70 countries around the world. So what they do is all the things that they receive as far as financial donation, they use that to purchase the rice, the soybeans, the other vitamins, I think some other products in there. And then what they do is they get volunteers like us to package this product and put it in boxes, which that was a lot of fun for us to do yesterday.
So if you guys, I'm a visual person, so you guys like want to know like what am I going to be doing? Like, okay, let me put this visual for you. So, so when I walk in, it looks like a factory of people just working.
I feel
it was like
about it
so fast, and I'm looking around, and I came a little late because of all the stuff that I was doing, so I was kind of behind. And so I'm pretty sure they had the video before, kind of told you what you were doing. So, but I walked in, and it looked like just worker bees.
That's how you'd feel,
and that's how you feel.
Time. Yeah,
and then you go these little areas where like stations.
That's like the orientation part.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's like
you have to go through. You didn't go through this because you weren't there on time. So what happened is you walk into this place. You have to sign up first to make sure that you're the person who says that's volunteering, because they keep track of the people that's volunteering in these places. So my group there was about 7-8 of us, and then you have to sign up first. And once you get signed up, there's a station there where you have to put this hat. So you can't actually
you're not supposed to walk in here
without the hat,
without the hairnet.
You
have to wash your hands. You know, where you're serving food, you're packaging food.
Exactly. And they also tell you in the orientation area where you're sitting there, they give you a background of the whole organization itself. So you know what it is, what they do, where they bring the food, the one that you're packing particularly that day. So you know that these food that you're packing is going to Namibia, for example, or whatever location.
That's what we were. That's where we did. That's where the food we were packing yesterday went. But when you walk in after all of that, they have these little areas that have the organizations or the countries, the organizations support. And so it was so crazy. I swear.
That was really,
what's going on? When I found my group, it was like there's stations where there's rice, soy,
vitamins.
It's vitamins or vegetables,
and then vegetables. So
it's vegetables, and then it's a mixture of vitamins. And then so you have people manning that. Then you have this funnel where you have people.
Well, you pour those ingredients.
Yeah, you have the funnel where people pour the ingredients in. But before they pour that, you have to put a bag. So you have people putting the bags underneath the funnel. People pouring. Now
you have to wait. It's
now you have to weigh it.
Synchronize.
So it's so synchronized, like a factory. But it was so amazing to see all these people working so hard and so fast, and it becomes like a competition, because now you're with against other people, and you want to see which group boxes the most. And at this end of the day, all of the boxes go to that same location, but it's the competitiveness that makes you work a little faster and box a little more.
Well, if you didn't notice this, on the left side of the place where we were working at, there is this board that has the counts of who had done it for
Records.
the records for, like, Motorola, I think, is one of the top one. I mean, different organization actually brings their people and do the volunteer work there. So
Yeah.
that's really one of my
Yes.
goal eventually, to
Yeah,
have so
definitely.
many people to come out there and actually do a volunteer, and not just for the records. Who cares about it really? But it makes a big deal if you're very
But that idea.
competitive.
So if you guys have a company that needs some community work or would like
Yes.
to get out there,
Mhm.
definitely look into something like that because that was amazing.
The most important takeaway for this with me when I initially volunteered for the Feed My Starving Children was the idea that I used to think that, you know what, I need to become the wealthiest person, or I need to be the smartest person in the world to make a difference. And then I
Okay.
realized that, you know what, I don't need to be one, because just going out to this community and just making advocate about this, what they need as far as the volunteer work, and the time that we're putting into this organization really make a difference. So, like, if you guys are into helping but you don't know where to start, and you just kind of, you have that feeling in your bone that you have to do some community work to help other people, to help your community, but you don't know where to start with. I think Feed My Starving Children is definitely something you should check out.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Another thing that I actually really liked about the experience was my first time doing participation with Feed My Starving Children. But at the end of it, you come in, you have the option to pray over the food, and which
mhm.
I thought that was really amazing. They pray for the actual food itself, that it gets to the location.
Mhm.
They pray for the children that are receiving the food, and then they pray for the
For the
volunteers.
volunteers,
So I thought that was
exactly.
lovely. And besides the fact of, well, religion or whatever is the aspect of really what's going on, and so obviously you have the
But it's
option.
also optional.
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
obviously it's optional. But then at the end, they do a recap of what we did, and on average, they want about a box per person at the end of the day. That's their goal. And so yesterday it was about 95 volunteers. And
Hmm.
at the end of the day, we boxed 147
47.
boxes,
Yes, yes.
which fed about 86
86.
children for 1 year.
1 year. Yeah, that was a big deal.
For
Yeah.
1 year.
Hmm.
And not only that, it took for the
It
people
took us
that
two
walked in, it
hours.
took 2 hours of your time.
Yeah.
And then they show you the story of the. If you want to look, I had posted that end cap of the story of the individuals that that received boxes from My Starving Children and then
Hmm.
benefit from it. But at the end, they actually serve you the food that you pack.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking about that. I said, I wonder how this food actually
You
tastes
actually
like.
said
Yeah,
that while we
I
were
did. We
packing,
were, because I didn't know if you can actually try, because
but
we
they
have so
don't.
many options
They don't.
here. We can pick food, but for them, they really don't have that much
Yeah,
option
and so
out
like
there. So I'm like, how bad or how good is the
I
food?
didn't know that that was the scenario, and
Uh-huh.
so when you said that, I wonder, like, yeah, that would be smart if they were to
To
make
show
something
us
and
how it,
and
yeah.
and demo, and they actually did, which was awesome because you're sitting here and you're packing this food.
Hmm.
One, you're probably saying, I wonder how this tastes, because you're not probably eating this
Yeah.
mixture
Uh-huh.
often, or if at all. And then you want to know, like, what are you doing,
Well, like,
what are you serving,
imagine,
what are you making,
I
and what imagine, like,
you're doing
now you're
eating that
giving
every
your
day.
yeah, just imagine if
Mhm.
you didn't have that chance to say, oh, I want some pizza today, oh, maybe I'll have a
I want
salad,
an ice
I
cream
want an
today,
ice
or
cream
a
today,
steak for
a
that matter.
steak. Like,
But
we're so privileged, and I think that we take it for granted, and coming into an organization like this, even to Hashtag Lunchpack is another
uh-huh.
organization that is national, that works with build
Different
that
schools. I think a
different
lot of
schools and
communities
people communities
definitely. Yeah.
come in. They donate their time to make sandwiches and lunch bags, and they go out and pass it into the
To the
community,
schools,
which is
yeah.
awesome. The schools,
I
the
know
homeless people.
Ciara Evans, which was the 2015, I think, junior, preteen junior. That's her platform. She's always out there in the community, just like packing and distributing those bags. Those are really amazing. And one thing that one of the moms, Sammy Springer with America's Little Miss, she was there yesterday, and she's been to Haiti, where
Oh yeah.
Haiti, it's only several hours not even 2 hours away from Florida. If you were to fly there, the huge difference between those community and the community in Florida, obviously, and here in the U.S., it's just incredible. And what she said to us was that she volunteered there, and she saw that a lot of adult male and female don't even go up to their past their 30s, because that's how
Oh
terrible the
yeah.
location is. And there's no food, there's just so much poverty in there. And then once you get there, it's life changing. Like even me doing this work with Feed My Starving Children, that keeps me in the ground, just realizing how I should be thankful
Keeps
for all the things that I
Yeah, it
have.
keeps
And
is a humble.
totally. And when you have kids, how kids nowadays, they always feel like they deserve everything and
Oh
they're
my
so
gosh.
entitled to everything. And you
Yeah.
bring your kids in there, they'll realize the things that these little kids don't have and the things that they have, it's just gonna blow their mind.
Yeah,
It's just
I after that event I went to babysit,
oh,
and
yes.
a busy day, right?
Uh-huh.
And so the little girl, she kept, saying certain things, and she wanted to eat, and then she was wasting food, and
Mm.
I was trying to be really gentle as far as like how I present this information to this little
uh,
girl. Like, do you know that there's kids out there that don't eat? And I can't really say it like that, because then you don't want to make kids
feel bad
too
or
too subconscious where they
Mhm.
stop eating, where they feel bad about eating.
Uh-huh.
So it's really a very
It's a
thin
balance. You have
line
to, yeah.
between how you have to communicate to your children about what's
Hmm.
going on. But even so, just getting them involved into something like that,
Yeah,
where
that
they
kind of.
could take a scoop and pour it, and just
Hmm.
think, where, hey, look, this food is going to these kids. And so it
Yeah,
could make
yeah.
an impact. I've seen a post where this little girl is watching a commercial of probably some sort of Feed My Starving Children or
Hmm.
something like that. And it's a little girl watching this TV on this commercial, and she's trying to give the kid a cookie or whatever
Hmm.
she's eating at that moment. She's trying to feed to the television. And so it's interesting,
Oh, that
so
is
it
that is the sweetest
so
thing.
you
Yeah.
can see, how young you can be to
You can teach these
you can teach
children. I
children.
mean, like for them to grow. Well, for me, like participating in this kind of community service is always been part of my blood, because I grew up in the Philippines pretty much half of my life, and I've seen this poverty, I've seen this struggle. And a lot of people in my country, in the Philippines, they were very they're in a survival mode for the most part. And not everybody, but a lot of them are in poverty and they're in survival mode. When you are in survival mode, it is difficult for you to grow as a person when you're always thinking about where I'm going to get my next meal, and your parents, they do whatever they can, hopefully not everybody, but
Yeah.
they do whatever they can to really help these children, to feed them and provide for them. But I've seen it, and
Yeah.
I was part of those people that I've always said in my head that I was going to help no
Yeah, and
matter
you
what.
think about it, like a friend of mine, she had visited the Virgin Islands, and she had said too, it's so poor there, and
Mm.
their stuff is so taxed because of the simple fact of having to ship it over and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
And
But
that's the best part
the
about the
import
Feed
tax and
My
stuff.
Starving Children, because they work with multiple organizations that actually they do their work here, and when they get to, they don't ship it until they actually have a non-for-profit organization in that country that will also guarantee that this food that they're packing here, that's shipping to that country, will get to the people that actually needs it. So they're saying about 99.9% of the food
It
actually
gets
gets to
to
the
the
location, which
which is
is
awesome. That
incredible.
Yeah, very incredible, because you want to know that that stuff is getting. And then
Exactly.
instead of, like, I know a lot of people get weary about giving out money to homeless people and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Something like this,
Yeah.
you're giving back. For me, like, you say, oh well, these people, we're spending our time to ship stuff over to other countries. Okay, besides the point, you can get involved in your own community. Like I said, a hashtag lunch bag, I know,
Lunch
is out here
bag.
in Chicago.
One thing
There's
that is also good is the page pads.
Yeah.
The page pad is actually, I think there's several different places, but that's one of my other charity that I really love, because I want to do international work, but I also want to do local where it affects people that are around the community. So you guys have to check this out. The page pad is actually from the villages or the locations around DuPage area, and I'm sure they have some in Cook County too. Like the lunch bag thing, definitely is everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you want to really work in community, you have to do a lot of research for those charities that you're putting your time and your money on. And if you really want to help, be there. Just volunteer your time.
Being physical.
Feed, do all those other
soup kitchens and stuff like that.
I love
and it's very interesting to see like how grateful some people can be when they receive this stuff. And then there's people that don't want to receive some, but a lot of the time is they're like mentally out of it, where they're not consciously understanding where like you really need this.
So I remember one time when we had an event and there was so many food that was left behind, and we had so many. So what we did was we went out, we just walk around downtown Chicago, me, Justin, and a couple other people. We just walked downtown and we're just like, we're handing food to these people. And oh my God, I never felt like I was rejected, but this was like really terrible because we were giving, I was like, do you think that person would want it? Because I didn't want to just approach them. So we were trying to give them, and they were like, no, we don't want that. We want money. So that was like, for me, that was like an eye-opening. I said, I can't do this.
But you also have
to work with the actual organization that facilitates.
You also have to think there's people out on the streets that want to be there, and sometimes maybe they already had their meal for the day. Maybe they just really want enough. Maybe they are like $2 away from renting a hotel to wash themselves. So there's all kinds of different things. But for me, like, I keep a case of water in my car. Where I can reach back while I'm driving and grab a water bottle. And if I see somebody on the streets, I'm going to give them a water bottle. I might not have change or cash or anything like that. Sometimes if I do, I will. But just even simple, reaching back and grabbing a couple of water bottles and giving to the person that's standing outside in the heat all day,
especially in summertime,
begging for money, that right there makes a difference. I've given my case this week away.
Oh, wow.
And their faces is like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, because they've probably been standing there for hours and like they're so thirsty. So the little things make a difference.
Fantastic. And we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some of the fashion fail in 2015.
And then I have some fitness tips too for you guys.
Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Women everywhere, your story matters. Intellectual Radio.
You've been by my side. All I know is you make me come alive. All I know is you have my heart. Hoping that we will never fight. Into eternity is where I wanna go. Where I wanna go. Into eternity is where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Into eternity is where I wanna find. Where I wanna find. I live forever between you and me. What is love? What is love? Is it you next to me? What is love? What is love? Greater than ecstasy. What is love? What is love? Is it in your eyes? What is love? What is love? Take me by surprise. All I know is you're still standing here. All I know is it seems so very clear. All I know is I want to take you away to a place where there's only sunny days. Into eternity is where I wanna go.
Hey everybody. everybody. Welcome back to Women Everywhere. I'm Felicity Watson.
This is Gigi Carrera, and we're live at IntellectualRadio.com. Our phone number is 708-223-8953. If you're interested in sharing some information, where you're at, what you're doing,
What's going on?
what's going on out there, what's in your mind.
Let us know where you want us to be.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll love to cover your event. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Would you like to talk about the fitness thingy first? And
yeah. I mean, sure.
yeah.
So, summertime, right? And I've come across this a couple of times, so I figured I'd talk about it. So, swimming.
Uh-huh.
Do you like swimming?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, I love swimming. Yeah.
I enjoy swimming as well. Swimming is, if you guys did not know, is considered fitness. It's good for cardio. I mean, come on. So, I mean, people think it's recreational too. So, but yeah, swimming is definitely good for cardiovascular endurance. Good for muscle strength and endurance. I got this tic tac in my mouth. It's like
it's not working out. Yeah. So
making me tongue tied.
yeah, and that builds your shoulder. Like,
yes.
Have you seen those professional swimmers out there? It's like ridiculously sexy.
Total body definition.
Yeah,
definitely.
There you
Get your heart rate up. But I hear a lot of people don't know how to swim, which is really interesting because I think I learned when I was like 2.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning. Don't get me wrong. And I got a funny story with that.
So you are in California, though.
Yeah.
So then, were you living next to the water? Is that why you learn faster?
No.
Or how does it work?
No, I live in California. It doesn't mean I live down the beach.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
A lot of people think that, though.
Yeah.
No, but my grandparents had a pool. So we it's year-round, summertime around there. So you kind of have that opportunity to swim. And so when I hear out here a lot of people don't know how to swim, it makes sense because you don't really have that opportunity to go swimming year round. It's kind of only a summertime
But
thing.
you have those park districts.
Yeah, they have park districts, Fred Hampton and Maywood. They have Oak Park Park District. I mean, all kinds of park districts have swimming pools where you can pay a couple dollars and swim. Now, I think that it's great because I'm not only because I enjoy it, but I'm actually right now I've been practicing my swimming in the pool.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that to me about. So are you training with a trainer or are you practicing on your own?
I'm practicing on my own, but I'm kind of doing it's both. So the reason why I've been practicing more in the pool, I know how to swim, but I'm working more as far as like technique because I want to be a lifeguard. Or gain the skills of being the lifeguard. And so when I walked into the wanting to be a lifeguard idea, I figured, okay, hey, I'm going to do this pre-test and I'm going to be a lifeguard. It's going to be easy. I know how to swim. No, it is not easy. I was like, I'm healthy. Do fitness. I'm strong. Yeah. I teach group. And no, it is a total different thing as far as trying to swim. And it's a matter of just like keeping yourself up overhead and being able to breathe properly. It's a lot of work. So if you guys do not know how to swim, check out your like local like YMCA, stuff like that. I know our YMCA has great swim lessons. But for me, I've been doing just a lot of training on my own as far as just getting in the pool and just trying to work on laps and work on different techniques and breathing. But because I work at the facility that I swim at, I have lifeguards and fellow coworkers that give me tips, which is nice. So every time I go in the pool, I learn something new. So try it. Get in the pool if you guys aren't, aware. Definitely a lot of people don't know is that it is full body, but for people that have like arthritis, a lot of pain,
it's like a therapy,
range of motion issues. Being in the pool, that the buoyancy, it allows a lower impact so that you can feel good, still get your workout in, but not feel so sore. So
I learned swimming when I was like 3 years old. And you know how I learned? My dad just threw me in the water. He's just like, here you go. You can do this. Everybody else is doing it. So they just basically just dropped me in the water. And then I was just like, oh my God, well, how am I going to do this? And that's really how I learned. Not the same type of training as you're talking about, but I can definitely like get into the shore if somebody dropped me
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
water.
my dad taught me how to swim too, and I don't think I don't know if he threw me in, but he definitely taught me how to swim. And so when I told my dad I was having some problems in the pool, I mean, considering I hadn't been in the pool for a while when I tried to get in, he's like, "How do you forget to learn how to swim? It's like riding a bike." So I thought that was funny. So if you guys do know how to swim, get in the pool. Not only is it
Get
nice
in
and
touch
cool,
with you so they can train with you.
they not necessarily in the pool. I'm not an expert in the pool, but you could swim with me. We
There
can
you
learn
go.
together. We can do this together. That's what matters.
Actually, one of my friend, Alec, he trains the U.S. swim team for the Olympics. So he travels to Russia, and I'm thinking he probably would go to Rio for the Olympics. But that's awesome, though. Like, I have no idea. He always invites me. We should go together. He always invites me to go to the pool. I think he teaches at Evanston.
Oh,
so that would be interesting.
yeah,
for
I'm
you to
always up
meet
for
her.
it. It is definitely a workout. I worked out this Tuesday, and man, my glutes. I swear, my legs were just so sore, and
Girl, for you to say that,
oh
I am
God.
extremely nervous because you're so strong and you work out all the time. I work
No,
out once
it's
a
just
month.
it's just
actually.
like different aspects. You're scared because we're gonna start working out soon. That's why.
Yeah,
Gigi's gonna start working out
preparation.
soon with me,
Yeah,
and
so that's gonna be so
so
interesting.
yeah, we're gonna work on her pageant body.
Swimming is definitely in for summer, obviously.
Yes, definitely a nice recreational. Put on your nice swimsuit, swim trunks, go out, have a good time with your friends. Maybe, if you're not a swimmer, maybe have a nice drink, cold beverage at the side pool. But just get out, be by the pool, flick your feet in it, something,
and
do
get
something,
some tan.
and get a tan. But yeah, just to try to enjoy the swimming pool as much as you can at your ability.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
Now we'll talk about the 2015, 2016 fashion fail.
Fashion
The
fails.
fashion police are here.
Gigi.
You are going to contribute to this one.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk to you because it's amazing how there's so many things right now in fashion. So we're shooting this magazine, and I was looking into like what's going on in fashion world, right? So recently, I want to talk about the 2015, 2016 biggest fail. Definitely is number one for me is the man bun. Have you ever seen this?
The man bun? We haven't.
I've seen the
I've seen the man bun before.
Yeah, I definitely think it's really, I don't know. I don't get that. How do you feel about that? I mean, I've never seen a guy. Maybe I've seen one, but not close up. I don't know him.
You have this. I think it's because of your ideal of what a man's supposed to be. I think that's why you don't like the man bun.
Yeah, but what do you guys think about my man bun?
Personally, the man bun, it definitely matters on who's
wearing him
is.
Yeah.
Yes. The man bun isn't just worn on anybody.
I just don't think
but
it's that high.
I think that's just like anything as far as like style. Like a bob can't fit with anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like long hair on guys.
Yeah. Well, for me,
I think the man bun is kind of sexy.
So yes for you, no for me.
Yes for me.
All right. Okay. What about holes in the clothing? Like in 2015, Kanye West.
Kanye West has that.
How do you feel about that?
Whole.
For me, that's definitely a no, especially if a girl is wearing it. Totally no.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I want to wear that per se. Personally, like if it's like a fishnet, like if it's supposed to be like this, but if it's like a shirt with like ginormous holes in it, no, not really. I think it's kind of trashy. I don't.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's kind of a mockery.
Popular people are definitely able to pull it off, but if you are just anybody that just wants to go out and do something and with holes in your outfit, I
think that too definitely makes a difference on like your body type, and
true.
So yeah. I don't know. I don't really like it. I think it's kind of
so no for you.
No for me.
No for me too. Okay. And then the last one is the edits. You know how women are always like over editing their photos, even in the magazine.
Oh, like the filtering.
They're missing the limb, and they're overly photoshopped things.
Okay, that's so over Photoshop is a fashion fail.
Yeah, definitely for me. So
I'm gonna say that is a fashion fail because as a model, when you walk into something, you have an idea. You're already walking into, for me, I'm always trying to walk into something confident, but with the industry, it's about being criticized. And so in the back of your mind, you're always thinking about, what is this other person thinking about what I look like?
Yeah, but it looks terrible for the models also. They feel bad because most of them are already perfect. That's why you're in a magazine. And then when they edit you to make you look even more,
it's over exaggerated.
Yes.
I had, who was it? It was Selena Gomez, I think. It was one of these younger pop stars, and she did a photo shoot where she was wearing a nice classy like jacket and a like one piece suit,
like a jumpsuit,
like real, like a bikini. It was just plain, and you could see her thigh, and then she posted that picture, and then it was another picture. So it was the same picture. It was the Photoshop picture, and then the unedited photo. And she made a comment at the top, and it's supposed to went viral, but it said, "I thought that I would post the unedited version,
just so they know how they should look.
So they know because." I would and expressed how she was actually upset how much they took away from her thigh to make her thigh look thinner. Slim.
Yeah.
And she was thoroughly upset. And she says there's enough out here that we have to worry about as far as keeping our confidence up and what we look like. I don't need my viewers, my young people looking at me that I'm skinny like this and this is what I want them to look like. No, this is who I am as a person and accept me as a person. So
so for me, that's totally a no when it's over photoshopped. And I think that it's so important to like encourage more women to be more like themselves. I mean, it's good to be healthy and to work out, but when you're over photoshopping yourself just so you can look as skinny as the girl in the magazine.
Even down to those filters on like Instagram, I'm really iffy about those. I look like as far as tones and stuff like that.
I still do a little bit.
I use the filters, but
smoothing out.
But it's not for me. It's not about like what I look like. It's about what the background looks like. I like the background. It changes, the color. But yeah, definitely try to stay true to yourself and not, be edited so much. And if you feel like you need to have the editor cut. I have a tons of photographer friends, and one of them, the biggest joke was the fact that he had a girl that was kind of thick, and she wanted him to cut some of part of this off. So, and he was looking at her like, "No, that's not you. It's not going to look right."
Work that out if she really
if you have that big of a problem,
that and get your abs. If you really want to look,
if you have that big a problem of how big your arms look, how big your stomach is, and all of that stuff. You can do something about that.
Definitely.
You can call me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Felicity does a lot of training, and I'm going to be training with you. So. Oh my God. Okay. So now, so that's amazing.
Oh wait. You had one fashion fail. You said something about zits.
Yeah. So, this was really, really new, and there was a fashion show that's just all these. All these models are coming out with zits in their face. It's supposed to be a fashion statement. This was in Milan Runway fashion show that just actually got published June 22. That was so interesting for me. Like all the models, I guess they didn't want to wear makeup, or they picked the models that has zits. I don't know. I hope they were poking zits
I don't
on
know.
the model's face just so they can look
But
like
you know what? That's another thing
really
about staying true to yourself. Even though it might sound like a fashion fail to society. I mean, hey, everybody's beautiful in their own way. And if you have acne,
yes for you?
I mean, hey. Be you. That's what I'm yes for. Be who you are.
Right,
but we'll end that. We'll end that right there. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching and tuning in. If you have something that's going on later on today and you'd like us to check it out, let us know. Please comment on our page. But besides that, enjoy your day. My name is Felicity Woodson.
And this is Gigi Carrera. And you can catch me at the Grove Fest in Downers Grove today from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'm going to be at the info booth. So if you want to talk to me, you want to take pictures with me, say hello if you're going. Again, that's Downers Grove Main Street today from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And thank you for tuning in. IntellectualRadio.com. We'll see you next time.
We're women everywhere. Thank you.
Riding in my car, Do I see the rising of the sun? For the night was filled with rain and thunder. Henceforth a new day has begun.